Hello and welcome to the channel. And for today's video, we're going to check out a couple of work in progress Superman figures that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. Just a quick update from the last video that I uploaded which was the work in progress on the Stephen Platt inspired Moon Knight. That project is still going on. I'm still, doing some testing and whatnot. So hopefully I'll be able to get an update video on that soon. But first, I do have to explain that the long absence. I did get sick over the Thanksgiving weekend. I got a really bad cough that started pretty much on I got a light cough on a Wednesday, and then the Thursday of Thanksgiving it got pretty stronger, and then on Friday it got pretty bad. That left me pretty much without a voice over the remainder of the weekend, going into the new week, and then my throat was pretty sore, so it took me about a couple of weeks actually to just fully recover and get my voice back to normal. Even though for some of you my voice is pretty croaky and whatnot, so but it was extra froggy, and also just constant coughing out of a reaction. Basically, I couldn't stop coughing, just almost out of necessity, just to clear out whatever I had in my throat. So even now, I still have some residual effects from that cough that I got. So if you hear an abrupt cut in the video, it's because I had to edit that out. And so, yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, I'm finally, pretty much back to normal. And I'm just recording this video. Today is Christmas Eve. So hopefully I'll probably try and get this video out either today or Christmas morning. So wherever you are, Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve. And yeah, so I'm recording pretty early. So usually in the mornings I get a stuffy nose. So if I sound different, it's because of that. But yeah, so I just wanted to get this video out just so you guys knew that what I was doing over the past since the last upload. And basically, this Superman, a brief history. Superman is a cool character. Obviously, the original superhero and all of that. I wasn't always like the biggest fan. I never collected his comics, aside from like the when I first started when I started collecting comics in the early 90s. Superman was viewed like as a boring character, even then. Um, that's when the DC Comics decided to spice things up and come up with the whole Death of Superman storyline. So that got me into collecting his comics for a while. And then, but after that, I never really kept up with Superman as a character. I mean, I've seen the movies with Christopher Reeves. I've seen the cartoon series and all of that. So I mean, I enjoy the character and all of that. It just wasn't a character that I followed, religiously like a Batman. Batman's my favorite character of all time, right? Followed by Spider-Man. But Superman, he was just always like Okay. Uh, I probably enjoyed more of his stories when he was like in the Justice League and all of that. So probably that's why I like the character better in a group setting instead of solo. And so yeah, but this latest customs that I've been working on, just out of it was just on a whim, basically. I said, I have the Hush Superman that released, a couple of years ago, and I was pretty satisfied with that figure. And but um, I was like, I think I need a representation of the Superman that I remember from the 80's. Um, so in that era, Superman had like two distinct um, eras, you could say. Obviously, it was the pre-crisis and post-crisis for the comic book nerds. For the normal people, probably didn't even notice a difference. But for the comic book nerds, there was the pre-crisis on Infinite Earth Superman and the post-crisis, which was in 1986. Pre-crisis Superman, for most normal people, if you saw the merchandising for the character, and we'll begin with uh, I'll post images, as I go along. Um, the Basically the superpowers Superman. That was basically the idea, the image that people had in their minds when they looked at merchandise. They saw the Jose Luis Garcia uh, artwork. Um, he was the guy that did the style guides for DC Comics for the 80's. So a lot of the artwork that you saw in merchandise in the early part of the 80's was based off of his artwork. And this custom is pretty much what I tried to accomplish, trying to get that Jose Luis Garcia. I'm forgetting his name. He has two last names. I'm forgetting the last one, but that's why I always cut it off at Jose Luis Garcia. Um, and so that's what I was trying to accomplish with this custom. So this custom is comprised of two, three figures if you count the wrist balls and the head. But mainly the body is comprised of two figures. The the torso from all of this is the Earth 2 Superman. I got it at a pretty good price off of eBay. I'm sorry, not eBay, Amazon. Amazon had it on discount. As many people know, when this figure released, and I'm not sure if it was a McFarlane exclusive or not. But I do remember that it was priced higher than, yeah, it was a McFarlane exclusive that originally cost like $40, and a lot of people got upset at that. So I got it on Amazon a couple of weeks ago on discount, and it was pretty much half price. 20, regular McFarlane pricing, 20 something bucks. So I got that figure, and then the arms and the legs are from the classic, quote unquote, Superman, which is the one that has the goofy smiling face, and then the wrists and the head are from the Action Comics 1000. But although this is the version from, I bought the figure separately at the local toy flea market that we got here, and So I got the figure separate as the two. It's the whatever 2 pack that he comes with that other that almost like cosmic Ghost Rider. I'm forgetting his name right now. But again, I'll post an image in here somewhere. But anyway, I bought basically got the Action Comics 1000 Superman as well. So I bought a, it won't come out. I bought a bunch of Superman figures in like the course of 1 week to try and put together what I remember as my 80s Superman. So this, like I said, so this is the version of the pre-crisis Superman, which is, like I tried to say, the indicative of the artwork of Jose Luis Garcia. I still need to repaint the wrist balls to match the colors. But even then, if you look at it like this from the camera, you could see that the colors match, but they actually don't. The blue of the torso is actually just a shade darker than the blue from the legs and the limbs. So eventually, what I'm going to do is just repaint, find the right color blue to match the blue from the style guide, and then apply a new logo on his chest that is the proper logo. Now, the only problem with this particular figure is that the cape is already stamped with that old school Superman logo. So, that you know, it is what it is. So I'll keep that. But you know, the the front here, I'm gonna be changing the logo on that. Um, Now there's a little difference in terms of like the sculpting. Obviously, the sculpting on the torso is the musculature isn't as tight as on the arms and the legs, but it doesn't look out of place. Obviously, he's not cut as sharp as the arms and the legs, but still the definition is there that he still looks a lot like the the pre-crisis Superman. Let me just get a little bit closer here so you can. I mean, that's. I mean, I haven't done anything other than just done the kit bashing. I haven't, like I said, so I still need to repaint the wrist balls to match whatever color I'm going to use. Now, the other thing that I did is change the hair. So like I said, so this is the head from the Action Comics 1000 Superman. The hair on this guy is actually the hair from the the smiling face, the the classic Superman. So I took off the hair, the original hair from this head sculpt, and replaced it with this hair, which actually looks a little more like the pre-crisis Superman hair. And then I just added the blue highlights. Now there's a little gap behind the ear, and you can see right there. I just painted that black so it doesn't look so egregious in the skin tone. So I'll probably add something just to sculpt something in there just to fill in the entire gap. There's no gap, slightly less gappage behind this ear. But all in all, I thought the hair looked better on this guy to match my specific look. And yeah, I think other than the boots that aren't 100% accurate, I could if I could probably swap these out for the Action Comics 1000 boots, which are pretty classic looking. I could try and switch those out. But yeah, with this head sculpt, he can actually look up a lot. So when you're trying to get him in a flying pose, he actually looks like he's flying, looking, pretty much straight on. So there's that. So there's part one of the custom that I was working on. And now the second guy that I was working on. Now remember, this is still a work in progress, so he's still pretty much a Frankenstein. So this guy represents the post-crisis John Byrne style of Superman. Again, I'll post a reference image somewhere around here so you can get an idea of what it is that I was going for. The John Byrne Superman is kind of leaning towards the Dark Knight Returns style Superman, which was a little more buff, right? A little larger than normal. Which if we compare these two guys side by side, you get an idea. So what I ended up doing is again, so I used the parts that I used from the Earth 2 Superman. So I used those arms and those legs, and then I took the upper body, the upper chest from the Dark Knight Returns Superman, and then the midsection from the Action Comics 1000. I had to do some dremeling to make it fit, to make the pieces fit, because there was a different ball system used early on by McFarlane. Um, so not all the ball joints are compatible. I believe now they're a little more compatible with all of the pieces, but back then there were different sizes, and so I had to do some dremeling to get the abdomen to fit on the with the upper body, and the what do you call this piece? Whatever piece that holds up that holds the diaper. You can see this red piece. I took this from, I don't know. I had a bunch of spare parts, so I couldn't even tell you exactly what figure I used. Um, but oh, there goes the cape. That's fine. I don't. The cape was just a placeholder. Um, while I figured out if I liked it or not, which I am, but it's not glued really well. But anyway, the I had, so you can see all of those black marks on the abdomen on the side here. For those who are familiar with the Action Comics 1000, it has some piping designs going on, so I shaved those down to keep it smooth. And then another thing that I did, as far as modifying, is on the upper torso. I did shave off, you can see right here. I did shave off a lot of this. I forget what this muscle is called. This little back muscle that pops out on the side. This thing, if you're familiar with the original figure, It's pretty. This part pops out a lot. I think I trimmed off like maybe 1 or 2 millimeters, from about 2 millimeters. Whereas before the figure, if you tried to lower his arms, you couldn't. You couldn't do this before. He was always like this. But now you can get the arms a little lower on his sides. So again, I did that on both. And then the ball, the socket here, the butterfly, tended to be a little tight, so I dremeled out on the inside as well. But now we've got a little better free flowing arms. The cape is from the Action Comics was 1000. I like how the cape is raised up here above his shoulders. It looks a little more regal. And the head sculpt, this one comes from the, what is it? The Crisis on Infinite, no, the Infinite Crisis Superboy, the one that that has like the power suit and all of that. Again, I'll post an image right here. I thought he looked pretty young, but not so young that he couldn't pass off as like the John Byrne style Superman. And then obviously with the big neck, the head sculpt, when I applied some heat to it, so that the jawline got wider, because it's a really tight right there. So by applying heat to the head sculpt, the jaw just got wider. But he can actually look up as well. Obviously, I still need to repaint the eyes because of the side eye. And then he still has the original hair. Again, I just repainted and added the highlights. But yeah, you can see here when when you remove the cape on the Dark Knight Returns, it leaves this pretty large gap there. So I'm gonna have to fill that in later on. But yeah, I think I like this cape, the Action Comics 1000 cape. So I'm gonna keep that. As far as like movement and all of that, because of how the Dark Knight Returns Superman um, body was built, his abdomen was shoved up way inside the upper body, so you actually only got to see like two sets of the abs instead of like the full six pack. But on mine, you can get him to bend backwards enough to get like a decent flying pose. Again, just have to repaint the eyes to get him to look forward. And you can see how this is ready to go. So I'll just take it off, whatever. You can see how he looks in terms of like the full body. So now the trim of the upper torso doesn't look so out of whack with this large back muscle jutting out. Now he looks a little more representative of what I was trying to go for. And the logo on the chest is pretty close. I mean, it's not exactly the logo from the John Byrne Superman, but it's close enough. You can see right here all of the trimming that I did on this guy. So yeah, this thing does still pop off. You can see all of the work that I did in there. I like I said, I did have to do. This is not the ball joint that comes with this figure. The one that comes with the Dark Knight Returns. So really, it's a larger ball. So yeah, I had to Dremel out uh, to just to just so I didn't have to Dremel out such a big hole to fit the ball joint. I switched it out for another one. I believe it's from the Earth. No, from the the Earth 2 Superman. This is the ball joint from the Earth 2 Superman, which is a little smaller but still larger than the original hole for the Action Comics 1000. So I just filled it in with some glue, from with a glue gun, but it fits in there. Now the only issue with this guy is that he doesn't like to stand up by his own, so that's why I gave him a stand. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. So the only thing that I have to decide, obviously, I have to repaint this guy. I definitely need to repaint this guy. I'm so I don't think the blues are gonna be the same. So probably gonna have to do some color matching just to see which ones are gonna be useful. Um, but yeah, again, let me know what you guys think. Am I close? Am I crazy? Am I not? Am I way off? Just obviously comment whatever suggestions you may have. I still got the other bunch of pieces here. You can see there's the Superman torso from the Action Comics 1000. You got the legs from the Action Comics 1000. And got the body from the classic. So this is the Superboy that I'm using the head on this guy. So I got the Dark Knight body parts here all over the place. So yeah, let me know what kind of useful there. You can see his hairpiece is gone, so it's definitely the hairpiece on this guy. So yeah, again, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.